Welcome to another episode on the channel. In today's video, we have a Mini. I've never owned one, so I figured why not buy one? And I think I got really lucky with this one. So let's take a look at it. What we have here is a 2017 Mini Cooper S, and I've looked at these for several years now as a fun little hatchback. I test drove one nearby and I really liked it. I was pretty close to buying it. The only thing, it was an automatic and I didn't want an automatic. So I'd been looking around for some manuals and this one popped up on Insurance Auto Auction, and it happened to be at the local Insurance Auto Auction, maybe 20 minutes away from me. So in the pictures, it looked just like this. Not very bad. It looked like it had been partially repaired. And I figured, well, I'll run over there at lunch, take a look at it on the preview day. So I did. I looked at it and crawled under it, got under the hood and looked at everything. Coolant's full. I'm assuming it had oil in it because there was a video of it running with no warning lights. So I could not figure out why this car was totaled. It has all of the parts here on the front end, a hood that I could tell had been repainted, so they had replaced the hood already. There's a bumper cover on it. So I could not figure out why it had been totaled. So I figured maybe there's some more to the story, I don't know. I'll bid pretty conservatively. And I did notice headlights were missing. And again, if we look under the hood, all the cowl trim is missing, the wiper motor is missing, and the arms, the side molding, the rocker covers were missing. So I figured, well, that stuff isn't terribly expensive, but we'll throw a couple $1,000s in parts at it, and that assumes like engine and everything's fine and there isn't some catastrophic issue with it. And I couldn't imagine there is any frame damage because the car is pretty much back together, but I figured I'll throw a conservative bid at it. It's local, so I won't have any transportation cost, and it's a pretty clean car, so the risk is fairly low. I could part it out at the worst case, but the interior's clean. It only has 26,000 miles on it. So it's I thought a very low risk purchase. So auction day comes up, I win it and get it dropped at the house. And here we are. Since the car came from the local Insurance Auto Auction, I figured the car had to have been towed from a relatively local body shop. And since the lower trim and the cowl and trim, all of that stuff couldn't have been damaged in the accident, judging by the repairs on the car, I figured there is a chance that the shop that had this car still has some of these parts. So with a little bit of investigation, I called the towing company that was on the window sticker, on the windshield sticker on the car. Their admin wasn't in, but they said, call Insurance Auto Auction. They should know where the car was towed in from. So I did that. Our local IAAI people are very friendly, and she told me the shop that the car came from. So I gave the shop a call and said, hey, I got a white Mini, I just bought it at auction. It's missing some of the parts that shouldn't have been damaged in the accident. Do you happen to have any of these laying around? And the shop manager said, yeah, I got a rack with some parts on it. Come over and grab what I've got. So 10-minute drive to that shop. I get there and he rolls a rack out front with every piece that was missing from the car. We've got side skirts and a cowl, got all of the seals for the top of the cowl, battery cover, 2 new OEM headlights, all of the screws, trim rings, and also, back here in the corner, a new OEM Mini bumper cover that they had already painted. With all of these parts being given to me at no charge by the shop, this will hopefully turn out to be a huge win on this car. Now, I'm sure it will still have some BMW gremlins in it. Maybe suspension bushings are already shot. Maybe the oil filter housing is already leaking. I'm not sure. We'll have to wait to get it up on the lift. But it's starting out to be a pretty good buy. While I was picking up the parts, I asked the shop manager, how was the car hit and why did it end up getting totaled considering it's 99% done? And he said it was hit pretty light over in this corner. So it was hit from like driver to passenger side. It just clipped the front and pushed the headlight a little bit. So they replaced this bracket and the bumper reinforcement. He said they took a few quick manual measurements and the car seemed to be fine, no issues. Now he said the insurance company refused to pay for OEM parts, and he told them from the beginning, this is not going to line up correctly if we use aftermarket parts, but they refused to use OEM. They said, all right, fine. So we've got an aftermarket hood, aftermarket bumper cover. They went and tried to line everything up. They could not get the hood and the bumper lined up correctly. So the insurance company did authorize the OEM bumper cover, which is back there. So they put the OEM bumper cover on, aftermarket hood. They got everything lined up pretty close, and they figured, okay, it's most of the way there. We can get the rest of it in a final adjustment after we paint it. So they painted the hood and the OEM bumper cover, put it back on. They couldn't get it to line up still within tolerance. He said it was good enough that a normal person wouldn't notice it, but the owner was very particular and they wouldn't accept the bad gap across. He said there was a little bit of a weird gap across the top of the grill. Before throwing more parts at it, they decided to do a laser measurement, and they found that when the bumper reinforcement was knocked to the passenger side, it did sway. It swayed the front just slightly to where a manual measurement didn't catch it. You couldn't see it by eye, but it had pulled it a little bit. So the insurance company authorized them to pull the front end, so they got everything squared back up. Tried to get the hood and the bumper cover to line up again, couldn't get it to line up again. So they went back to the insurance company and said, all right, we need an OEM hood. And the insurance company said, nope, we're not putting any more money into this car. We're going to total it. So at the end of the day, the car was totaled because it had a slightly out of tolerance gap between the hood and the top of the grille. That's why it ended up totaled. So it's an unfortunate thing for this nice of a car to be totaled out because of that, but hey, I ended up with it. So we're gonna put it back together. I've wrestled with aftermarket hoods before, so hopefully I can get it lined up good enough without having to twist it or anything, because I don't want to damage the fresh paint on it. And they did a pretty good job with the paint. You can see under certain light it's slightly darker than the adjoining panel, but I think overall good job. There's no dirt in it or anything. I won't complain about that, and it saves a tremendous amount of money for me for having to paint a bumper cover and a hood. The shop manager did tell me that he was on vacation the day that the insurance company sent the truck to pick up the car. Otherwise, all of the parts would have been in it and sent with it. He came in and he said, where's the car? We got to put the parts with it. And they had already taken it. So that's why the parts were not in the car. But now that we've had that rambling story of how I ended up with the car and all the parts, we can take a walk around it, take a look at the inside. Now, the hood is new, like I had mentioned. Unfortunately, the forklift at the insurance auto auction, I don't know if you've ever bought a car there, but they're very careless and they just kind of run the forklift into the front or the back of the car, whichever way they're picking it up. And there are 2 or 3 dents across the front of the hood where they ran into it. So they do have some rubber bumpers on the front, but those pushed into the hood. So I can probably have those taken out with PDR, but that's really irritating that it's a brand new hood and it's got 3 dents in it. And I'll put the OEM bumper on it, and I should be able to resell this one. I just need to sand out a little spot there that, again, the forklift damaged, picking up the car. But if we look down the sides of it, there's no door dings, there's no real scratches in the body, there's some scratches on the head, not the headlight, the mirror. I'll see if I can polish those out. No damage on the roof. The hatch and the bumper are perfect. Driver's side also, no door dings or anything. The wheels are in pretty decent shape. A couple of them have some curbing, not too big of a deal, but I don't really like these wheels. The silver and the off-white, I don't really care for that. These are 18s, so I think since I saved a considerable amount of money not having to buy all these parts, I'll check on Facebook Marketplace and see if I can find some 17-inch black OEM wheels for this car. That way we'll get a little bit more sidewall as well. These typically ride pretty rough. This one might not be so bad since it has the adaptive suspension, but if I can get a little more sidewall, I'd appreciate that. Let's take a look on the inside. With 26,000 miles, as you would expect, it's in very good condition. It's dirty, but in really nice shape. There's 0 wear on the seats. These are a dark truffle leather with Alcantara on the edges. This one has a head-up display. I'll go through the build sheet here in a minute, but got head-up display, professional navigation, panoramic roof. It's a really nice car. So on that note, let's take a look at the Carfax and the build sheet. Let's go ahead and start with the Carfax. So it was a one-owner car. It was bought new at the local BMW dealership, about 15, 20 minutes away. And it has had really an uneventful history. oil changes, brake fluid flushes, a tire here and there. So the only real repair has been in December of 23 at 17,000 miles. We have a fuel pump replacement. And then in 2024, August 2024 at 20,000 miles, let's see, fuel level, sending unit replaced, fuel pump replaced. So second fuel pump put in it. And then oil change, and engine mounts at 25,000 miles and about a month before it was in an accident. And it says accident, front, minor damage, and then it was totaled. So very uneventful Carfax, unlike the MKX that I made some videos on not too long ago. Now let's take a look at the build sheet. This is a very, very well optioned car. So a friend of mine at a different Mini dealership pulled the build sheet for me. So we have a 17 Cooper S hardtop in pepper white, no charge. So the leather, that was a $1,500 option. It has the cold weather package, which is auto dimming mirrors and heated seats. It has the fully loaded package for $5,000. And that included the premium package, comfort access, sunroof, storage package, excitement package, Harman Kardon. It also includes the sport package, dynamic damper control. They paid $500 for the wheels. That included LED fog lights, and then they paid an additional $250 for the LED headlights with cornering. It also included the technology package, which is rear view camera, park distance control, connected XL, real-time traffic, and it also included the wired package, navigation system, and enhanced USB. Let's see, power fold mirrors are included. They added a garage door opener, black hood stripes, black roof is included, roof rails for $250. It's got auto dimming mirror, colorline dark truffle, that was $100. See, all of this stuff is included. Rain sensor, auto headlight, dual zone climate control, active cruise control, onboard computer, active driving assistant, that was $1,000. Sirius for $300. Head-up display for $500. Mini connected. And the grand total, $34,900 MSRP for that car. Very well optioned car, and it was a very lucky set of circumstances to end up with it. So now let's go ahead and get it up on the lift and start looking it over. It's up in the air now, so I can get a little better look at things. I think the first thing I'm gonna have to do is try to get the hood lined up. So right now, the shop left everything loose, so the hood can move forward and back. The little fender pieces, these are loose as well. So I gotta get this stuff tightened up, because otherwise I'm gonna open this hood one of these days and it's gonna crash into the corners of the fenders. But if we open this up and take a quick look in here, everything is in its place. Everything looks dry from the top side at least. It has a replacement interstate battery. That was in February of 24, so not too long ago. Now, as far as the accident is concerned, just by appearance, we can see that this headlight bracket was replaced and it's got a 2024 stamp on it. And based by how clean it is, I'll bet the upper radiator support was replaced. The passenger headlight bracket is original. It's got a 2016 stamp on it. So that's original. And I'm not worried about this stuff. This is bolt-in. There's really no damage. And you can see how shiny the bumper reinforcement is, that has been replaced. Actual repairs will be in the next video, but let's just take a look underneath to see if we've got any obvious leaks or other damage that needs to be replaced. Looking up at the frame rail, there's no evidence of any severe damage or any replacement, so that tracks with what they said at the shop. Now if we take a look here, it's a little bit oily, but that's right below the oil filter housing. So that's probably just from an oil change. I'll clean that up and after I do the oil change. Everything else looks wet. Definitely got that connection greased up. Output seal looks dry on both sides. Engine mount is fine. Better be, since they just replaced them. No leaks that I see. Interesting. It's good with this low of miles. Better not be leaking. Control arm bushings look good. So let's set the camera down and check our wheels. Everything feels tight as you would expect. Struts are dry. Both of them. All right. I mean, everything in the front looks good. Just clean up that oil, make sure it's not leaking. But that can, if it is leaking, I guess that'll wait until a second oil change. Let's pull the wheels off and then I can check the brakes. And well, before I do that, we'll check to see if we've got any bent wheels in the back. And then I can stick the fronts back there and check them as well. With these being so low profile, it's a good chance that we could have a bent one somewhere. That one looks good. That one's good too. All right, so yeah, we'll pull all the wheels off of it, put the front ones on the back, and check those to see if they're bent. Before I put the wheels on the back, let's go ahead and check our brakes. As you would expect with 26,000 miles, got almost full pad on the front, no ridges. Double check, no leaks in here. And on the back, as you would expect also, almost full pad, no ridges. Let's see. Shocks look good. Bushings all look fine. Being a South Carolina car its whole life, the underneath is perfect. There's zero rust under here. Whole bunch of cavity wax. Same on this side. Luckily, the forklift didn't damage the suspension. Sometimes lifting on these pretty thin lower control arms can bend them, but it doesn't look like any damage. No leaking here. All of our rubber bushings look good. Okay, so I would say no suspension or brake maintenance. An oil change, we'll check the air filter and the cabin filter when it's down, but it looks like it should be pretty minimal. Now one thing I did notice on these tires, so the front ones, they look almost new. And this one is, where's our date code? This one is calendar week 4, 2025. So that was like January-ish of 25 it was made. And this one, which was on the rear, is an original tire. It was made calendar week 50, so that would be December of 2015. And it looks like it has, I don't know, 80, 90% of the tread left. There's really no cracking in it. There's a little bit of weather checking down in here, but it doesn't look bad. I'll bet they're a bit dry and rough riding, and being run flats, that doesn't help either. Now the other one that was on the back driver's side, it was made, let's see, calendar week 32 of 2016. So this one is probably original also. Again, a ton of tread left on it, not weather checked really, but they're probably very hard. And the front one, it's the front driver's side. Let's see. calendar week 25 of 2023. So this one's a pretty new tire and good tread on it. So, oof, I don't know. They look good and they hold air, so I'll sell them as a set. Hopefully somebody will buy them, and I'll try to find some 17s. But I want to put the front ones on the back and spin them to make sure they don't have any bends. That way, when I go to list them, I can say, yes, they are not bent. Let's see. All right, that wheel is straight. It looks like this one has been refinished recently. It has 0 scratches in it, and it's a very smooth finish, so I bet that one's been refinished. And let's try this one. They must have just put this tire on. I'll have to look at the Carfax again. It still has the soap around the edge of it. Ooh, this one looks like it's got a bend in it. Yeah, there's a pretty decent bend in this one. That's probably why the tire was just put on it. Right there. All right, well, I got a wheel guy. I can take it to him and he can repair that. Let's check the outside. Outside's good, so just the inside. I'll mark it, drop it off to him, and 100 bucks or less, hopefully he can straighten that. And then I can sell this set of wheels to offset a decent amount of cost, hopefully, for a set of 17s. And with that, this is probably a good place to stop the video. This is a nice short introduction to this project. It looks like it should be pretty easy and straightforward to put back together, require minimal maintenance. I'll check some more things after I get the hood lined up. That way I can actually open it. Right now I have to hold it open. So yeah, first thing I'll do is get the hood secured and everything lined up here so I can put the hood struts back on it so it'll stay up. But I mean, fingers crossed this shouldn't need anything major. So make sure you like and subscribe to the channel to keep up with this hopefully short project, and we'll have this thing back on the road.